Hello, hello, good morning, hello. Welcome once again to Dork Duck Daily, the show with all the news you nerd and other such things. Like today we get to cover Am I the Asshole?
I feel like it.
Why do you feel like an asshole right now?
Because I was putting stuff on the bed so that I could vacuum real quick. And I didn't get to vacuum in time. And so there's like stuff on the bed and Bug is just looking at me like, "Mother, this is my bed?" And like I moved stuff around so he could have space on the bed even. And it's like he wants the whole entire bed to be completely clear of anything.
Yeah, he's like,
And now Pete's up here and he's just, "Hi, Pete."
yeah.
Maybe we don't.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning, GU. Hello. GU says, I love Lena's hair breaking the green screen in the opening. I didn't even realize that's happening, but that's hilarious.
My hair was breaking the green screen.
It probably was.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Did Jeff remember to open the multi-chat? Yeah,
No.
I don't know where I would put it.
No.
Is the problem.
Oh my god, I can hear Bug purring.
I can open it up, but like, yeah, he's purring very loudly over there.
Hi, are you happy now? You happy boy? Yeah. Okay, good. Like, I mean, I'm a little perturbed because there's stuff on my bed and you're not laying down.
It says in the other chat, I sit in both chats in case people wander into the stream here. Thanks for doing the good work. All right. Yeah, the cats are settling on the bed. Is that we also were like, hey, I'm gonna vacuum. And I was like, okay. And so I cleared out. But it looks really nice in here.
Thank you.
Just also,
Not done yet.
yeah, it's not what I would have done like 10 minutes before stream, but
It wasn't 10 minutes before stream. I started vacuuming at 8:32.
oh, okay.
And I stopped vacuuming 10 minutes before
Okay.
stream because I'm being more conscious of schedules and time. Don't come at me because I was prepared this morning. My butt was in this chair. Okay.
You did
At
great.
9 o'clock,
Yes.
my butt was in this chair.
You did great.
I know.
And then when AITA was talking about Star Ocean games, and I couldn't even remember if I played them or not, you were like, yes, Jeff, you did play one of those.
Yes, I did. I remind.
Sam says cookie for Lena. Hello,
Thank
Mello.
you.
Good morning. Yeah, we're getting things. Lena's been killing it around the house lately. It's a little terrifying how clean and nice this house is getting. It's a little spooky.
It's interesting because it's like I haven't been like devoting my whole day to it either. Like I'll take time to like do other things, and I think that's the like goal is because or not the goal, but what I need because like when I clean all day, nothing but clean, it's like eventually I sit there and I'm like doing things, but I'm not really like doing things. Like I'm just like, oh, okay, I gotta move that. Like I'm not actually like organizing or putting things away. I'm just like trying to look busy because my brain is like, you have to keep busy. And then today or yesterday, I like stopped. We were eating tacos. Obviously, dinner time doesn't really count as the time that like that
Yeah.
doesn't count as like it does count as relaxing, but it's like not. Like I still took time to like sit down and do other.
You have fallen into that trap that a lot of people, I think, fall into, and I've been guilty of in the past too, of just like not letting yourself be like, okay, this is relax time and it's okay, or this is work on this time and it's okay that these other things aren't happening because I'm working on this. And you've been doing really good at that lately. Just like I'm gonna clean for this amount, and then it's like I'm not, and whatever's done is done, and then it's the weird backwards way that life works is you actually get more cleaning done.
Yeah, because then you're not like stressed out and burnt out about yeah. It's important.
Sam says Lena's on top of things today. She is.
I'm trying.
G says I have a warning. My antibiotics ran out. Brain cells at 2 again. Yeah, I got to call on my kids' med refill, and
I gotta make a psychiatrist. I owe them money. So just been kind of like, well,
we'll deal with this as it comes.
raw dogging the ADHD. Again, not quite sure how I've been getting so much done because I haven't really been medicated.
You're killing it though.
It's eerie.
Some of it's the sun shines out, the birds are singing.
Oh, that too. The weather is like really nice here, and by really nice I mean it's like 40 degrees and not snowing, but that means it's really nice to me.
It's the Stockholm syndrome we have out here, where it's like suddenly when it's 40s, we're like, all right, like we're good. She says I have a sinus infection that won't die, that is eating bones. It makes me really loopy. I have chronic sinusitis, apparently. I found that out when I was at the hospital, but I don't know exactly what to do about it.
Tell you what.
What?
Get an air purifier.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
It's on the list. Hey, we got news stories. All the news you heard. We have a whole segment for it. We like to call it the Daily Quack. All right. Magic the Gathering's Avatar: The Last Airbender set is coming in November.
I don't know how to feel about that.
This is from Ty.
Like, I'm excited, but
that is the correct reaction. As like Magic cards just turn into Funko Pops, the correct reaction is, huh.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, all right. It just makes it seem like anything that is like, they're just putting, I don't know, too much.
Mello says, any behind the counter sinus meds, not regular sinus meds, the stuff they make meth with. Yeah, my I could probably take some of that and maybe it would fix it. My ex used to like swear by that stuff, and then it over the course of our relationship, it went from something you could buy not behind the counter to something you had to buy behind the counter. That's very lovely, man.
It starts
psilocybins or whatever.
Oh yeah, no. My ex, it's just cold meds, right? But like really intense cold meds.
It's just cold meds, but it like specifically is a cold med that like attacks your sinus. It's like specifically good for sinus stuff. But then they use it to make meth so that it turned into a behind the counter drug.
Meth?
Correct.
Dextromethorphan is the one I'm talking about. But that's a cough suppressor. Not for sinus.
G says, 2, and we have an air purifier. They don't really help. I'm losing my eye socket. Who needs eyes? Am I right? I mean, you got 2 of them. That sucks. I'm really sorry that you're losing an eye socket.
That does.
This is from Ty Gooden over at Nerdist. It says, MagicCon truly lives up to its name as a convention for one weekend. Fans at Wizards of the Coast Magic the Gathering tabletop card game come together to celebrate one of their favorite pastimes. I didn't even know there was a MagicCon. Apparently there is.
I knew that because one of my friends who cosplays actually got like invited.
Oh, really?
Like a guest, yeah.
Outside of opportunities to play with others, buy exclusive merch and cosplay, MagicCon is also where exciting new ventures are announced. Perhaps one of the biggest announcements is Magic the Gathering Avatar: The Last Airbender, just coming our way in November. I, like Selena, don't quite know what to think about this. But here it is. That's Magic. Remember when Magic was cool enough to have its own IP? Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's all it is. It's just gonna be the logo changing. Okay. You clean your glasses.
Yeah.
Melissa says pseudo veteran HC. Okay. And Gio says, hear me out. Cool eye patch. Yeah. Be a pirate. Gio says,
I was robbed of that experience.
yeah, you were supposed to wear an eye patch.
I was
growing
supposed
up.
to wear an eye patch when I was little, but my grandma said that would. I have a lazy eye, so I got bullied anyway, but you know, I guess her heart was in the right place or something. But again, I would have taken the over winging it because now the muscles in my eyes are like not where they're supposed.
Yeah. Gio says, I feel like Magic just needs to make a different series that basically feels like Funko Pops. And Lena keeps cutting out. I'll turn her mic up. Boom. That should fix that.
Whoa.
What's up, Lindsay?
I don't like that. I can hear myself too much now. Thanks.
Okay, I'll turn that down.
Thank you.
Good morning, Lindsay. Sam says MTG crossover feels corporate and gross. I don't know why, but like I'm not like, yay, I love these brands. It just feels icky to me. That's probably because MTG's parent company. Yeah, it's that, but it's also just like Funko's at least were always that, right? Funko Pops were always like, hey, we're making other IP stuff. Magic was its own thing for years. Years. And now it's just everything. Sorry. Now it's just everything else. Kind of lame.
My baby picture's on the floor.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Good thing I
Jeez.
didn't run it over with the vacuum.
G says Avatar feels like Disney with Star Wars now. It's just putting itself everywhere. At least like all the like mainline stuff still created. Like the new show that's coming is made by the same people that made the original stuff. G said Pokemon figured out how to do that with Soul, and I'm realizing that it is hard. Yeah, but it's like Pokemon's a good example. Imagine if it was like, and next year's Pokemon cards are gonna be Avatar. Like, you'd be like, but they're Pokemon. Why would they be? Magic used to be its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Bike racing party game Ultimate Sheep Raccoon announced for consoles and PC. Due out soon in 2025.
Is that the same as
Ultimate Chicken Horse?
Yeah.
Yes, if you've not played Ultimate Chicken Horse, it is the perfect like Sam, you should add that to consideration for when you do like big charity streams and stuff. When you get like 2 or 3 people together to play. Ultimate Chicken Horse is incredible. It's basically like Mario Maker, but like each person takes a turn putting something in the level and then you race through the level. And so you put up like trolley bits and then laugh, and then it's a lot of fun.
Our youngest kid, who was like I think 8 years old at the time, was like, this game, like she came in with this energy of like, you're not gonna understand this game, but it's okay, I'm gonna let you win. And I was like, okay. And she probably did, because I didn't understand the game, but it was just amazing because she was just that like, oh, you're new at this, it's okay, I'll make it easy for you.
Sam said I shouldn't be allowed making levels. What's great about Ultimate Chicken Horse is that everybody's making the level, and then if the level's too hard, nobody wins. So you have to like try to make it just trolly enough that only one of you can get through. It's pretty amazing. But Ultimate Sheep Raccoon is, and you weren't on bikes in the first one, but apparently it's the sequel. You're going to be biking. I am so hyped for this. This is the way people freak out at like a Metal Gear trailer. I'm like, fucking more Ultimate Chicken Horse. This just looks like stupid fun. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Meh.
Sam says, is this just modern Happy Wheels? Oh my god, it is. I don't know what Happy Wheels is. The first one was just a platformer, and this one, you're on bikes through it, which is a pretty good evolution of it. G says Hot Wheels meets Saw. Yeah, I'm very excited. Bike to victory. Power.
I will not. You can't force me to.
Okay.
I'll walk to victory.
Sam said Happy Wheels is a silly old Flash game where people build challenging maps people had to go through.
Yeah, Jacksepticeye played a lot of it.
Oh.
If you said it around our kids, they would know, probably.
Yeah, probably. Hey, we have a new section of our Discord in which you can submit news stories as requested by people, and this is the first one that came through from Dirkifer. 100,000 eggs were stolen from Pennsylvania, police say.
What?
From a trailer in Pennsylvania, police say. I was covering up part of the article. From Travis Caldwell at CNN, who says the theft of approximately 100,000 eggs from the back of a distribution trailer in central Pennsylvania is under investigation. The eggs were worth an estimated $40,000 and were stolen from egg producers Pete and Gary's Organics.
Not Pete.
In Greencastle Saturday night, according to a report from Pennsylvania State Police. Pete and Jerry's is aware of a recent...
Jerry or Gary?
Gary, I don't know, it's Gerry.
Oh, it's Jerry.
Pete and Jerry's...
No, I don't like that.
All right, Pete and
Redacted
is aware of a recent incident in Franklin County, Pennsylvania. We are actively working with law enforcement to investigate, the company said in a statement to CNN Tuesday. We take this matter seriously and are committed to resolving it as quickly as possible. Due to the ongoing investigation, we cannot comment any further on this matter. The egg industry has faced considerable challenges in recent months with the resurgence of avian flu that has killed millions of egg-laying hens. Nearly half of all birds killed by the virus 2044 were egg-laying hen deaths that occurred in November and December, according to the USDA. Juice says Pete and Jerry's Organics.
Yes.
Lindsay said I used to play Happy Wheels at school in IT class. Great game. She said deep inhales at early gaming YouTubers. Please make the passage of time stop, please. To which Sam says there's so many eras already. Minecraft YouTubers are already like a decade ago. Oof. Big woof. But yeah, the egg prices are so insane. People just be stealing them now.
Huh.
Our local supermarket's all right.
Yeah.
But there's a limit. It's nice because it's like they have the best egg prices in town, but they also have like a thing up that's like, hey, each
you can only get like 2
yeah.
per person, I think, or something like that, or 2 per family.
Cheeky, hello.
Hello.
The chicken theft numbers are going to go up. I mean, those things are linked, yes. All right. Bloober team is making a new game based on Konami's IP after Silent Hill 2.
What does that mean?
It's a very good question.
What is IP?
Intellectual property.
Oh.
Cheeky says everyone should limit it. People purchasing 20 plus flats of eggs. Yeah, people be dumb.
Yeah, we never buy more than I think 2 things of eggs, and even then we're just like, we stress out because we're like, oh, we gotta use all these eggs. We were eating eggs a lot there for a minute, and then I ate too many. and now they're
That's what always
gross.
happens in this house is that we start eating something all the time, and then I'm really happy because I really like routine, and then very quickly someone in the house is like, if I have to eat that one more time,
I'm gonna throw up, and it's
like,
usually me.
And I'm like, but routine.
Actually, it's not usually me. It's also the children. Although I feel like our youngest could eat spaghetti every single day and be happy.
If I were by myself, I would probably eat just like if I could like just grab like we've talked about it on the show. If I just
kibble
or food pellets.
Yep.
Just be like, all right, let's go.
My peanut butter crackers. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I will be back in like 3 seconds. I'm gonna eat them off camera.
Okay. Shiki says, I'm so excited. I hope it's Silent Hill 4. I hope it's Silent Hill 1. That's, Jesus, we have exceptions on the egg limits. I'm allergic to beans. I need proteins with slightly less cholesterol. Shiki, I do not wish to die. Sure. You can have more. I authorize you. Linksy says, I have a feeling it's not a remake. I'd love it for being a new game. Mel says, Lena, random thoughts. Yeah, that was pretty random. All right. Bloober Team and Konami have announced that their partnership will continue after the success of Silent Hill 2 Remake to work on another project. While the project hasn't been revealed yet, the announcement says that it will be based on an existing Konami IP. Could be fucking Metal Gear or some shit. What other Konami things could it be that's not Silent? Like, everyone wants it to be more Silent Hill, but what if it's just... That's so vague and weird. Could be Castle... What if it's fucking Castlevania, though?
That's what you want, huh?
I would be fucking down for some Castlevania.
Trying to eat peanut butter.
Okay. Lindsay says, I hope it's a new game, and I hope they call it Silent Hill 5 so we can dismiss all the other games as spin-offs. Shiki said Castlevania a la Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah. Can you imagine if it's a fucking Castlevania game? Jesus Christ. I will be excited and you'll be sad, but like, that would be cool. I would hope for that or a remake of one. A new game would be fun though too. The trust built upon the success of Silent Hill 2 lay the foundation for signing another agreement for a new project, said the studio in a press release. The deal aligns with Bloober Team's strategic plan to expand its internal development division with first-party framework. Bloober Team CEO Piotr Babino said in a statement, our collaborations with Konami have been incredibly fruitful, and the success of Silent Hill 2 speaks for itself. By sharing knowledge and experience, we have been able to create high-quality production together. Of course, we can't reveal too many details at this time, but we are confident that fans will be just as excited about our collaboration as we are. We can't wait to share something truly special with players when the time is right. While this new game is most likely going to be based on Silent Hill, it seems director Matsus Lennart is also interested in working on a game around J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium. Lennart has said that he once pitched a horror game set in the Lord of the Rings universe. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be neat.
When asked during an interview what his dream horror project would be, interviewer Hamid Nikafor suggested a Lord of the Rings game, to which Lennart replied, don't think I didn't pitch my ideas around that. There you go. They're working on something again. And it's based on Konami IP.
I do love me some vagueness. Not really. Don't tell me at all.
That's all you get.
I'm scared.
They're working on...
All surprises are scary. Maybe you should turn my mic down. I'm in the red, like, a lot.
Well, you were cutting out a lot before.
Well, just turn it down just a tad bit, because, like, I can hear myself breathe, and every time I move my mouth, I can hear my, like, tongue hit the roof of my mouth. And It's freaking me out. Did you just turn me down?
I just turned you down, yeah.
Oh.
Did you
Like in my own ears or for them too?
for them and you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I was like, I don't want to accidentally forget that I'm loud and then scream or something.
There should be a gate on it, theoretically.
Well, I don't see any gates.
Yeah, there's a limiter.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Um
I don't know how any of that works, but I'll trust you.
Shiki said, "Did you all see my Hollow Knight Crusade plush?"
No, but I'll go look at it right now.
That sounds amazing. G says, "I made a fantastic."
Something is clearly wrong.
G says, "I made a fantastic joke and I appreciate it." What did I miss? G says they're known for horror, so I bet it's not Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, I missed all this up here. I can't drive Shiki. I drop shop like every 2 months. How many eggs do you buy if you only go every 2 months? That's got to be a stressful store trip. Trip. Gold toilet worth 4.8 million pounds stolen in 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
About the gold toilet?
No.
Is that where you're oh my godding?
The Hollow Knight.
The Hollow Knight? Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Our children would go insane. They were just talking about Hollow Knight last night, I think, because they were like, I think it got removed from Game Pass or something.
I think I just don't have Game Pass right now. Like, it went to charge it, and like I probably didn't have money in my account at the time, and it was finally like, all right.
That's a bummer.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like now it'll wait until I'm like, oh man, I need Game Pass, and then I will renew it. So
yeah, so you're not just needlessly subscribing to something you're not using. That's the hardest part about that stuff is like I forget that I'm subscribed to things half the time, and then I'm like, well, I'll use it eventually, but like
it's so cute in 3D, the plus, not the toilet. Here's the life hack. If you don't have money in the account, they shut those subscriptions down.
True.
If you're poor enough, all your subscriptions get canceled.
Yeah, but then it's annoying because it's like I'll have money in my account and then ping for like a little subscription thing that I don't remember, and I'm just like, I needed that $12. Like, how dare you?
This is from Martin Eastaugh at BBC News, who says thieves stole a 4.8 billion pound sterling solid gold toilet from Blenheim Palace in an audacious raid, which took just 5 minutes, a court has learned. The toilet was plumbed in and fully functioning as part of an art exhibition at Oxfordshire stately home in September 2019. Michael Jones, 39, from Divinity Road, Oxford, denies a charge of burglary. Fred Doe, previously known as Frederick Sines, 36, from Windsor, and 41-year-old Bora Gukik from West London have pled not guilty to conspiring to transfer criminal property. Their trial at Oxford Crown Court was told the toilet was most likely broken up and was never recovered. Yeah, why would you? If you stole that thing, of course you would melt it down.
You're not fucking stealing it to shit in it. You're stealing it for the gold, you silly gooses. Oh my god. Geese? Whatever. Gooses, geese, I don't know.
Cheeky said, that's what you get for making a gold toilet. Yeah, exactly.
It's so frustrating.
Like,
just gonna shit in some gold today. Like,
she says, you know what? Good. If you're gonna shit on gold, you deserve this.
Yes. Peculiar poultry.
G says, poor is life hack. Good to know. Yes, exactly. G says about the store trips, I can't cook due to my health, so it's just stuff you can insta cook. Yeah, that's still like gonna be an overwhelming store trip. I'm sorry, I can't imagine. G says this is rich English nonsense. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Prosecutor Julian Christopher Casey told the court that the gang of 5 and 2 vehicles drove in through lock gates of Blenheim Palace in the early hours of 14 September 2019 and smashed their way into the building with sledgehammers. The court heard that the sledgehammers were left at the scene. A photograph was taken about 17 hours before the toilet was stolen. Mr. Christopher told the court that Mr. Jones had taken it while he was there as part of reconnaissance for the burglary. Mr. Christopher told the court that the raid took just 5 minutes. He added, "The work of art was never recovered." Work of art? It's a fucking toilet.
Old toilet.
It
It like took all of my energy, this story. Just sucked it out of me.
The work of art was never recovered. It appears to have been split up into smaller amounts of gold and never recovered.
Good.
A fourth man, James Sheen, 40, from Wellingborough in Northamptonshire, pled guilty to the burglary, transferring criminal property, and conspiracy to do the same in April 2024, jurors were told. Entitled America, the 18-karat gold toilet. The toilet was called Entitled America. I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
I'm confused. Isn't that like defeating the purpose?
I guess it was an art piece, but it was also a fully functioning toilet. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Entitled America, the 18-karat gold toilet was part of an exhibition by Italian conceptual artist Maurizio Catalan. It weighed 98 kilograms and was insured for $6 million. Gold prices at the time would have seen the gold worth $2.8 million in September 29. Yeah, so you have it insured for more than you're fucking fine. Jesus Christ.
Look at Bug. Look at our Bug. Look at Bug.
I see Bug. It's cute.
I started off calm, but you weren't doing it fast enough.
Shiki says, "Hold on, bro. I'll spot you a banana and some duct tape. You can make a new piece of art." Shiki's saying he hired them. Nick says, "How can you put a price on art, though?" I guess that does not look like art to me. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
Like, what about that? Is that just? Looks like something that like Trump would just earnestly do. So I guess calling it Entitled America, I guess that's somewhat spot on. Addo says, with enough money, you can put a price on anything. Good morning, Addo.
Hello.
Imagine how cold your cheeks would be. Jeez. She says art is subjective, yes, but a gold toilet's just preposterous. It's weird.
Don't move.
Okay. Also, good morning, Nix. This is the story is insane. I can't. Honey, Jeff and Lena, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you too, man. Hope the rest of your stream went well.
Sorry, I interrupted Jeff watching it I had to vacuum, and I felt bad because then Jeff left the room, and I was like, I would only be like 10 minutes.
That was enough. Oh. We were having conversations about Star Ocean and Mass Effect.
I'm sorry. I vacuum.
G says, in Italian, our abstract artists get up to some nonsense. That's some nonsense, though. Like, that's an extra level of nonsense. I think the fact that it's fully functioning is my biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
Like, if it was, like, literally just like, hey, there's this art piece. It is a toilet. It is made of gold. It's a statement. And then it, like, sat in, like, a glass case or something.
I would still be like, that's gold.
That's stupid. But, like, that would feel a little more... The fact that it's, like, fully...
But it's fully functioning. Nobody's going to shit in it, though, right? Or are you? Are they? Are they pooping in it? Like, is that part of like what? I guess I don't understand the point of making it
Function, yeah, that's my thing too.
But then they wouldn't go potty in it if it's an art piece. Like if it's it's a display on. If it's on display, they're probably not going potty in it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
why make it function?
yeah, I don't know. Mel says a glass case of emotions. Gio got automated for saying limited resource make shithole. And said automod, that's fair, but the topic, yeah, the automod, we tripped the automod up 9 times out of 10. Edo says, at least I can't stop the fact that no matter how much you gild things, shit still stinks. I mean, people go potty in IKEA toilets that aren't functioning.
That stresses me out.
Yeah, we fell down that rabbit hole one day of just like how often do people...
You fell down that I was not in I was not.
I was curious. Well, I had never thought of it before, but I was like, I bet that does happen where people are just like, because it's like they do have a lot of toilets set out that you can sit on. And
yeah, they're not for pottying.
Well, I know that. Yeah, I'm just saying it's like with the sheer volume of people, it has to happen some amount of time. Where someone's like, oh, I'm going to take a shit. Or like little kids don't know.
Funny. I guess I could make sense of it if it was a child, but
yeah. A
grown human, I don't know.
Oh, Anchorman? Yeah, I didn't pick up on the Anchorman quote. I'm sorry.
How dare.
I failed you, Mello. I apologize. Every Tuesday, we ask a very important question with Selena's favorite theme song. Are you leaving?
Yeah.
Am I the asshole?
Yeah.
She loves this theme song so much she's leaving for it. Oh, it cut off. We try it again.
Am I an asshole? Cannot be an asshole because Reddit is telling me it's not so.
Oh, it keeps cutting off. I gotta fix my thing. It cut off the theme song anyways. I guess, yeah. It cut it off twice. I don't know that I can play it a third time. That is a vibe. It's pretty solid. I don't know why Lena hates it so much. Addo says he likes the theme song.
You guys are free to like that song. I cannot.
I think you don't mind the song. It's all the cat butts that you...
Yeah.
It disturbs you.
It does disturb me. Our cats like intentionally try to put their butt in my face all the time. So like I get enough of that. I don't know why you would choose to put that on your computer screen.
Addo said, I mean, I'm deaf, so take that as you will. Fair. Jeff, how would you describe your music career? I make great music for the deaf. She says, I love you, mother. Here's my butt.
It is an accurate...
Lindsay said, yes, you are, Jeff, if you want my answer. All right. Am I the asshole for yelling at my girlfriend for ruining my Super Bowl party?
You are. I don't even have to read that. How did she ruin your Super Bowl party?
My
superb owl.
19-year-old male girlfriend, 19-year-old female. Oh, y'all are babies. Just break up. I hate that I've turned into that person, but I'm just like...
Your baby, break up.
Yeah. Your brain isn't fully formed till you're 25. Go live some life. Go ruin some other girls' Sundays for a couple years and then like circle back if you guys are meant for each other. Lindsay says I'll hear him out. All right.
I think my problem is I give zero fucks about the Super Bowl. Like you couldn't pay me. Maybe you could pay me. Never mind. Cuz like maybe I could be paid to watch the Super Bowl. But who would pay me to watch the Super Bowl? So I don't
I'm not sure someone could pay you to watch it, which sucks because it's like I do
No,
like sports, and you have like some big, just like you're stuck in like nerdity from like the 2000s and 2010s of just like sports ball. And it's
I'm not stuck anywhere. I'm not like, oh, sports. Like I just, oh, bug just moved.
like nerds have reclaimed sports. It's okay.
I just don't. I just don't like sports.
Yeah, which is fine. But you
Is
also
it,
have a
though?
twinge of that, like, I also can't let people like sports.
No, that's not true. I literally like I worked the night of the Super Bowl or wait, no, it was like a football game or something. And like I didn't come home and was like turn the football off. I came home and was like, "Oh, you guys are watching football." Our youngest was crying over football. It was really kind of stressful, honestly, cuz
Yeah.
like that kid is so empathetic and like was getting really stressed out about like our team losing, and I was just like, I don't know how to like I don't know how this works, so I can't comfort you, and B I can't.
You acted like I do half the time when you cry, where you're just like, there.
Like I don't know what to say to you to make you feel better because I don't know what's happening.
The Lions lost. That's what was happening.
Like the animal.
Oh my goodness. All right. My 19-year-old male girl. Oh, Edo says that has to be clipped. Please clip. I make great music for the deaf. I will do my best. Giu says, what about the puppy in the kiddie bowl? I think she'd be into that.
I would like that, yes.
Giu says, I like modern Coliseum and human sacrifice tradition 102. Edo said, Lions can lose any day. Go Pack, go. Oh, this is where we actually like that tend to be friends with other people that root for other sports teams. That's when it gets weird to me. The people that like can't handle people that root for the other team. Like,
I guess. I can't root. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. And my brain, I've tried to sit down and like understand it. I've tried. You've explained it to me. My grandpa has explained it to me. Other men have explained it to me. Other women have explained it to me. I just don't get it.
Okay.
That's it.
Giu says, I had someone mad at me because I liked more than one team. Yeah, that's silly. Nick said, stop keeping the Super Bowl OMG.
The Soup Bowl.
The Soup Bowl. Ada said, yeah, root for whoever you want, but I gotta tease those who are fans of the other teams in the division. Yeah, it's fun. That's part of the fun is like ribbing people. Like we're in Michigan, so we rib the Ohio teams, and Ohio people rib the Michigan teams. And every time I'm in Bloom's chat, because he's down in Ohio, like we like tease each other about U of M versus Ohio State because it's fun. That's part of the fun. It's fun tribalism. When people turn it into gross tribalism, that's then gross. Shiki says, I'll be around sports for sure, but I will not seek them out. LOL.
Like, if you asked me to go to a baseball game because you really wanted to go to a baseball game, I would go to a baseball game. But the entire time, I'm not going to be, like, miserable or something. I'm just going to be, like, lost and confused. And, like, I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. But, like, or, like, yay, our team's winning. Or, yay, your team's winning. I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I have compersion for sports. Kind of like when you're poly and you see your partner with another person and that makes you happy. That's how I feel about sports for you. Like, I'm happy you're happy, but I don't feel that way for sports.
Edo says, on Wisconsin, we can ignore Ohio State and Michigan. Haha. I miss talking sports, so I'm purposely being cringe. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And sports are neat, and like it's set up for nerdery. Like, it's so funny to watch like dudes be like, back when it was like more gatekept, and dudes being like, dude, it's into nerdy stuff, whatever, and then like, so I'm playing fantasy baseball, and these are the stats. And it's nerd shit. Sports is nerd shit. GU says you can riff the Browns. Everyone should riff the Browns, but that's because of who they hire, not their logo. Also, they're the Browns. Yeah, but yes. My 19-year-old male girlfriend, 19-year-old female, works at Wingstop. On the Super
You
Bowl.
ever had Wingstop?
No.
I keep seeing ads for Wingstop. Has anyone in the chat ever had Wingstop? And can you tell me what it's like if you have? Because I want some.
I'm assuming it's a stop with some wings.
Yes, but like everybody talks about it like it's like this fucking gift to the world. And I'm just like, I've never had it. And so I have a little
Everyone
bit.
talked about Chick-fil-A that way too. And then it was like homophobic, and it was like, ooh, forbidden fruit Chick-fil-A. And like people
No.
were like, oh my God, the homophobia, but it tastes so good. And then I finally had one. I was like, this is like very mid. Like, this is fine, guys. I don't understand.
I care not for Chick-fil-A for both it's nasty and
But they had the homophobia. But
Yeah.
like it's like if you set the homophobia for aside a second, it's still not good. And then it's not good enough to earn being homophobic. Like it's just shitty. It's fine.
it's not.
White people can't really make chicken. Like that's what it boils down to. It's
Popeyes.
Popeyes fucking
is
rules.
So good. But no, Wingstop.
Like y'all can have your homophobic white people chicken chain. Like Jesus.
Okay, but no, Wingstop is like, I'm assuming Buffalo Wild Wings, but better. So,
That's what it's billed as. Yes.
but I don't know. Now I want Buffalo. I'm hungry.
Addo says Chick-fil-A should just go bankrupt. I agree. Your first drink? What? My first drink, very specific. Should be specific. Antibiotic brain. Oh my God. I missed a comment in there somewhere. Bought me a entire table's worth of wine when I turned 21. Was very nice. Where I missed the first... Oh, it's way up here. I had a guy decide I wasn't dating material because I asked how the Bengals were doing. Why do you care about the Bengals? I had my first drink at Bengals coach's house. He was my neighbor and super nice. I just wanted a kid for him. Yeah. Mela says Wingstop not that great. Shiki says yeah, it's Buffalo Wild Wings if it lived up to its name. I don't think Buffalo Wild Wings is that great either.
Buffalo. I just like wings.
Sam says where we used to live, I had a Chick-fil-A and a Hooters across the street from each other. I always wonder who was there first, the Lord's Chicken or the Devil's Wings. I did meet a couple people along the way that was like, Hooters wings. And I was just always like, I've
never been to a Hooters.
I've never been. And
Did you know there's a place called Twin Peaks? And it's not about the TV show. It's a restaurant.
It's basically another Hooters.
Basically another Hooters, except mountain themed.
Yeah.
So like when I was TikToking for Twin Peaks content, I got other content of women working at Twin Peaks, which is like that's fine. You know,
but that's not what you're looking for.
It's not what I was looking for.
Also, that's the most
missed opportunity to make Twin Peaks themed restaurants.
Yes. I've known women who have worked at strip clubs, and I've known women who have worked at Hooters, and the stories from Hooters sound 10 gazillion times worse than the stories.
That's wild, because I have quite a few friends that are in the stripping industry, and that is... to be fair, I've never heard... I don't know anyone, I don't think. Maybe... There's a girl I knew that worked at a Hooters for like 2 seconds, but...
I think it's more that you know what to expect at a strip club, and like there is shit set up and security set up, and like very like, these are the rules, this is what's going on. And it's like what happens at a Hooters is that the blurred linesness is very much encouraged. And just,
but it's a
like,
restaurant in which people take their children. Which is also wild.
It's also a restaurant where when you go, apparently, as a dude dining alone, they encourage their waitstaff to sit with you and play games with you. There's like board games they bring out to sit and play with you.
That would stress me out if I went there alone and then someone started playing a board game with me. I would be like, what is this? How do you know this is torture to me? I hate board games. I'm just kidding. I don't hate board games, but I hate.
Bella says Hooters was better when they had whole wings. Now they just have wingettes. I don't know what a wingette is.
I hate being taught new board games.
You do.
Is what I was gonna say.
You
Before
really
rudely
do.
Interrupted me.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm used to
Addo and
it.
I will play board games together somehow.
You just need to like feed the information directly into my brain so I don't have to learn it.
Like the Matrix, but instead of learning Kung Fu, you're just going to learn Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
Shiki says Hooters is going to go out of business because they won't embrace how culture changes and stop making them dress for dudes that were in their prime in the 80s because those men are now going to Hooters. Why would you choose to bring your children to Hooters, though? Like, I'm very obviously not puritanical, but it's weird to think of people bringing their children to a restaurant men go to edge themselves. Yeah, I don't understand either. Addo says that Hooters is creepy, to be honest, because it's encouraging sexualizing women in plain clothes. That's all fine. Like, it's fine if it's like everyone knows what's going on. My problem with Hooters is that it's like wink wink, no, we're a family restaurant, wink wink. That's my problem with Hooters.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like if it's
you're
like
saying if everyone is aware of what's happening and
which
like
everyone's aware of what's happening, but there's this weird like low level lazy gaslighting happening. And then when girls get jobs there, they don't know entirely they don't know that they're going to basically be like girlfriend experiencing men over and over. Like you need to sit down with him and like play these board games with him, and then he's gonna have this attachment to you, and there's not like the security level that you would have at like a strip club. And so he now
So you're yeah. Oh, I never considered that.
that's what I'm saying. The stories I've heard from people who've worked at Hooters are way worse than the stories at strip clubs because like it's yeah. Mel says I went to Hooters when I was young to watch UFC and WWE. LOL. Yeah, that is true. They used to be one of the only options for that sort of thing, but there's lots of options now. Shiki says like women that apply to Hooters, they're what Jeff is saying. Yeah, they don't know that's what they're signing up for. If you sign up for a strip club, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah,
Like it's sex work with supposedly some guardrails set up, and depending on the club, like the guardrails are going to be better than others, but it's like, you're signing up for sex work. When you sign up to work at Hooters, you think you're just signing up to wear like a skimpy top.
But there's much more than that.
There's at least emotional level sex work happening. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I don't. I forget. We have one in a town. I can't dox my location. I almost did.
Do you said I won a Hooter shirt at 7? I had a very healthy childhood. I won it singing against a drunk guy at 7. What the fucking fuck?
What?
Mickey Mello, I opened up my dashboard and it just says the chat module won't look. What? Weird. That's very strange. All right. My 19-year-old
I don't even want to read this.
girlfriend,
anymore.
19-year-old female, works at Wingstop. We've made it a whole sentence in. We might as well keep going.
Okay.
On the Super Bowl, she was working a 10-hour shift, and it being the Super Bowl, it was really busy. Yeah. Me and my friends were at my place, and after the Super Bowl, we were just hanging out and playing games. My girlfriend calls me around 10, telling me about how awful her shift was and about how she was feeling shitty, talking about how her feet hurt from standing all day and that she was cramping from her period and her head hurt and she was just tired.
Man, this guy would hate me. If you can't take a woman complaining about being tired after working 10 hours on her period, you would not like me.
Edo immediately. I sent you a screenshot, Jeff. He's the asshole. What is the? Oh, weird.
Sorry. Dion.
That's insane. Yeah, I had that at one point when they did an update, but it just won't give me chat. That's. I wonder if there's a way you can refresh your entire dashboard or something. That's so weird. He's trash. He's the asshole. Lindsay says, "Let him finish." G says, "Imagine working at a wing place on the Super Bowl in your period and calling your boyfriend after the game and him putting you on blast on the internet. Set the whole man on fire." Lindsay said he might be an asshole, but I'm not judging him yet. Okay, I'll try to keep going. She could ask if she could come to my house since it's like a 10-minute drive from her work, whereas hers is like a 15 to 20, and it would have been more due to traffic and that she just wanted to relax, so she wanted to be with me. So I said yes, but I was hanging out with my friends, and she knew this before she came over. She came over, changed and stuff, and started cuddling. I was fine with it, but then she started asking for stuff, so I had to like pause or leave the game, and my friends were playing. I was kind of upset about this, and after like 2 things, I told her to get it herself. She made it obvious she was struggling to walk.
Struggling is in quotation marks.
She was probably put on a little bit of a show. Like I'm not saying he's not the asshole, but
Okay,
she's probably like
Did
the
he work that day? Did he work at the Super Bowl or at the Super Bowl?
At the Super Bowl.
Did he work on the Super Bowl?
They're also
At a wing place?
they're also fucking kids. They don't live together.
Oh my God. Yeah. Jesus, have you ever had a period, Jeff?
No, I have not. Have you had that much blood loss? No, but it killed Brittany Murphy. I know it's a big deal. I'm just saying that they also... This story changes entirely if they live together. And it's like, this is her only... Like, she could go to her house.
She wants her boyfriend.
I understand. I'm not saying he's not an asshole. I'm not saying he's not an asshole. I'm just saying they're kids. They don't live together. They are like... He probably should have been more upfront of like, hey, my friends are over. I'm prioritizing hanging out with them. Is that going to be okay if you come here?
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't have the social and emotional tools to do that.
And I'm hoping that some people yelling at him on Reddit push him in that direction to have that like moment of like, oh, like...
And she doesn't have the social emotional tools to be like, I just really need my boyfriend tonight, which is why she probably was struggle.
Jeff, I am 30 years old, and sometimes I don't have the social skills to be like, I really need this or this. Like,
oh, okay, I'll get this myself, but I just don't know if I can.
There was this one time that I wanted you to do something for me, and I stood at the door like a little dog, and I was just like, okay, I guess I'll go get this or something. I don't even remember what it was, but it was so funny because you're like, why are you just standing at the door? What are you doing?
Sam said update. It was FFZ somehow. I disabled it and chat loaded, and then I turned it back on so I could... Weird. Addo said, I love Am I the Asshole? It's either someone accidentally doing something minor against a vile person and wondering if they are the asshole, and then there are the people who are so lost in themselves and so definitely the asshole. This is the second type for sure. Lindsay says, it's the Super Bowl, probably one of the big things for him and his friends of the year, and it's likely been planned for a long time. That is probably 100% true.
She didn't schedule her period for the Super Bowl. I'm sure if we could do that, we would definitely schedule it around the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying, I don't, not implying that these two do not have the social and emotional tools to navigate this better.
They're also 19.
They're 19 years old. They're children.
Yeah, if this was me in this situation, I would be a little bit salty, but at the end, and also I live here, so I would just go in the bedroom and just be like, all right, I'm gonna put a heat pack on and cry then, I guess. Like,
Jesus, fun fact, periods have been proven to be more painful than being hit in the dick. They have.
Yeah.
Yeah. GU and the Automod are at war today.
Read the rest of the post, though. I'm curious.
Shiki says, I can understand what you're saying if the Super Bowl is still on, but the game ended and they're just chilling afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, they're playing games. She made it obvious she was struggling to walk, and one of my friends made a comment about it. And I said it was fine, but she was nagging me the whole time. When everyone else left, I told her she was being really annoying.
Oh.
She started
Goodbye.
crying. She started crying and started talking about how customers were yelling at her and how she felt like such shit and just wanted to cuddle up and relax. I told her that I warned her before she came that I was with friends. She said that they could pause their game and that her asking for things wasn't a big deal.
I don't know that you can pause the Super Bowl, but like.
No, they're the games they were playing after the Super Bowl.
Oh. So the thing that only happens once a year was over.
Correct.
And the thing that you could do at any day of the week was not. Wait, was
I would say
happening.
I would say especially because they're 19, which means they probably get together a lot. If like this dude was like 40 something and like he never sees his friends or spends time like that with his friends.
No, he probably hangs out with them a lot. Though,
he probably hangs out with them all the time. They're 19.
Yeah,
they're children.
The babies.
Bug.
Oh my God! Look at Bug. Do you see him? Look at my child.
He's adorable.
Yes.
Addo, Lindsay says I just played devil's advocate. Addo says I know, but the devil has enough advocates that I will fight all of them. Stop. Shiki says if the roles were reversed and the husband came home after a long day, it would be expected of her to cancel her plans and take care of him. So it seems logical that he could help her or be a little nicer to her for needing some attention. I will concede that his frontal lobe isn't developed, but it's logical. Yeah, this is definitely a dude, and his friends' frontal lobes aren't developed either. So he's getting all sorts of tribal shit of just like oh, better she's struggling to walk. Like it's none of those dudes are helping that situation either. Whereas if you get a group of like 40s and 50s year old dudes, like you'll get more of like guys being like, hey man, go take care of your wife. Like that starts
With
to
the
change.
Right group of people.
Yes, but you start to get more of that as guys get older, and at 19 you're going to get none of that. So he's like a dude, he's figuring things out. He doesn't know how to navigate, like he's never had to navigate all of this at the same time before, and it's part of growing up is figuring out how to do that, and he's not handling it well.
No.
I will contend that like she at 19 is probably also not handling it super well, but that makes sense because she's 19.
Again, I'm 28 and I don't handle things super well all the time. Like it's part of being human, but like wait, what is that comment? I can't read it.
GU says the way I see it is his life isn't ending, but he's still an asshole because those 19-year-olds grow up into sleazy dudes. They just hide it better. Sure, but like I will contend that like the talk around you on the whole does tend to get better as you get older, and dudes as a whole do tend to get slightly better as you get older. They're still shitty dudes, like don't get me wrong, but as someone who has to swim among them, and doesn't always get to filter by good or bad, you know, it's like often, you know, what walks into my comic shop or what is geographically around because we're a smaller town, right? It's the general dude speak doesn't get as good as I would like it to be, but it's definitely not as bad as it was when I was fucking 19.
Yeah.
Because more dudes have wives and more dudes have navigated stuff like this, and more dudes are like, hey man, sounds like she had a rough day, we can take off, you know, that happens.
I've had that situation though where like and this was when I was younger as well, but like where it's been like I've had a rough day, I just like want my partner in the situation, and like whether it's like super fair or not to them, like hey, can I have like this, can I like have this time? And then it would be like either they were like, I'm trying to think of an example with my ex, because like there was a lot of times where like he'd be hanging out with people and he didn't have a job, or he did have a job but he worked like very little hours, so he had a lot of free time, and he'd be hanging out with people and I would get back from whatever I was doing, or I would be like, okay, it's been like 4 hours, like I'm suffering, like I want to hang out and like have like just me and you time because I don't feel good or whatever. And then the people there would be like, oh yeah, she's not feeling well, like we'll leave. But then later would like make a big deal out of it and like talk shit and like be shitty, like, so them just being like leaving and like I lost the example that you gave earlier, but like,
Oh, the
them
dudes
being
would be
like,
like, "Hey, we'll take off. Sounds like it's a rough night or something."
yeah.
Yeah.
But then my experience with that is then thinking that they're doing that to be kind, and then later being like, God.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like the other thing. It's like, yes, dudes can be shitty, and that is another thing. But also, like, everything that women can be, dudes can be too, and dudes can have problems with like people pleasing. And you put like a people pleasing dude in this scenario where he has to suddenly pick between his significant other and like his friends who have come over, and we're expecting just to have a chill hangout, and like he can't, like. In some ways, the kinder thing would have done to be like, "Hey, I love you. I'm sorry you had a rough day at work. Tonight's probably not the best night for you to come over, though."
How would that be the kinder thing to do?
Because you're not putting her through coming over and like vying for. But he's like,
Yeah, that you're telling her to go home and deal with her problems by herself because you're prioritizing your boy time.
I'm saying he's trying not to prioritize either. He's trying to please everyone, and that is where the major problem is coming. And yes, he should theoretically pick her, but it is better to pick one of the two over trying to make everyone happy, and thus no one is happy. His friends are annoyed because they thought they were going to have a cool hangout time.
They got to watch the Super Bowl.
And it's getting paused every 2 seconds.
Superb owl.
And his girlfriend's upset because she's not being prioritized. And it's all on him, which happens in life sometimes, but people pleasers start to short circuit in that, and they're just like, "I don't know, here's how I'll make everyone happy. It's all fine."
Yeah, but then the person in that situation has to like take responsibility for not being able to properly prioritize.
100%. But what's going to happen instead, because there's so many more dudes and they're louder, is that he's just going to hear that tribalism.
Yep.
And then be like,
yeah, so that's why it's important to call him out and be like, "Yo, this ain't it. This is not the way, my friend."
Says, if you want the whole, respect the whole.
Yeah. Accurate. Like,
oh goodness, we missed a lot. I'm going to try to catch chat up. G says right, which is why you call them an asshole, so they know how to change it. Sam says there's a lot of shitty old men. G says, as someone who has dated them, you'd be surprised how garbage those men are in private. Men think they're cool dudes. Addo said, there's a lot of shitty men, period, regardless of age. I mean, I was a shitty kid. And worked hard to be me. I'm not perfect, but I learned because people called me out of my shit. Same Addo. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of refinement, and it still happens, and I'm still falling short. And people are still like, "Dude, you fucking sucked there." It's like, all right. G says, here's an example. When I was 9, girls were called away to hear about periods and how painful they could be, and we'd bleed for a week. When it was over, a female teacher told us, "Don't tell boys; they'll make fun of you." That's so silly. Yeah, I've never understood that, but I had sisters growing up, so I didn't get a chance to like not be around that shit and not have it normalized. I don't understand this world where 50% of the population goes through something and we try to pretend it doesn't exist.
Also, real quick, I want to reiterate, or not reiterate, like, I was thinking, I was like, well, actually, no. Read all the chat first, and then I can go over my thoughts because I don't want to get lost in the.
Cheeky says, yeah, holding men accountable for shitty actions is almost more important during formative years, which has been a big hurdle for me when people say things like, well, he's just a kid, give him a break. Like, sure, don't throw him away and toss a key, but we need to learn that certain actions aren't okay. Women aren't at your whims. They're human beings. Things would be so much better. Yeah, I agree with all that. sorry if I sounded like I was giving him a pass. I was not. I was just I was not sitting here being like he gets a pass. I'm just saying that like they are children on both ends, and they're figuring this stuff out in real time. G says people pleasing, men pleasing, almost always. Those behaviors rarely show for women. I would have to see more. That's not in my experience. I've met a lot of people on both sides that get real people pleasing. Usually it's a response to like growing up in a somewhat abusive household, is that you don't prioritize your own feelings or the feelings of people you care about. You prioritize peace, and so you learn to like just make people happy around you so that you're not like so those people aren't getting mad and angry and causing problems.
In my experience, though, a lot of the times the people will choose to make the people happy that are the loudest, and then like forego the people that aren't going to make that big of a deal about it, even though those other people might actually be hurt far worse than the people
or
that
matter more than them.
yeah, than the people who are
Right,
making
'cause
a
it's
huge deal about it and yelling.
Because it's a trauma response. They're trying to stop the loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but by that they're then traumatizing someone else, and it's a yeah.
Sam says, I don't know, man. I just tell the guys it's a bad night for it. Yeah, you would. I'm saying it would be better to say, hey, like in our stupid brains, we like probably have that hierarchy wrong, where we as like young clueless dudes, and maybe you're a better dude than I was, think that being like, hey, yeah, come over is a better answer than like, hey, tonight's not a good night to the girlfriend. You're correct, and I think the best response is like, hey guys, can you clear out? Actually, my girlfriend's had like a really bad night and I need priority. It's the best. But like trying to make everyone happy and being like, yeah, sure, come over, it is like not probably the best response. Cheeky said, and yes, I know I'm only talking about men because the story is about a man not thinking about his partner, making her feel bad for it. That's okay. I think that's completely warranted here. She says the game was over. By the way, the Super Bowl had ended. They were just hanging out. G says, I think what cis men don't realize is those guys don't change. They just hide it for them better. Women still see that side. That is very possible. In the example of a lot of people, I personally would struggle to paint with that broad of a brush to say that that's true of like all men, that all of them don't change. I like to believe in a world where people can grow and change and become better people, but maybe that's me being naive. Sam said you were also assuming he's a people pleaser, unless I missed that in the post. Yeah, that's assumption and probably a lot of projection of myself. I could very easily see like this being an argument between you and me, and it would in us, and I would be being an asshole, but the engine that would be driving it for me would be like that people pleasy, like
We don't go to Super Bowl parties.
no, I was putting myself in this guy's shoes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And could 100% see things happening this way, but the engine of it would be on my end, the people pleasiness of just like, well, none of these guys want to go home, and they're like also not safe to drive, maybe because they've been drinking, like this.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, in that situation, yes. In this situation, they're 19. They probably weren't drinking, but like, I get what you're saying.
Addo said also, if they're friends, then they should A, accept that his priorities changed, and B, should be supportive of her too. Yeah, you grow out of a lot of friendships though when you're 19 and 19s and 20s. She said, I mean, not eloquent by any means, but so true. I don't know what that's in response to, but oh, you're responding to something G said. Okay. I'm intersex. I have boy brain with girl parts. People forget this. Addo says, unfortunately, I have seen so many of those men act like that in private too. They let it out when they think it's safe. Yes, and that's gross. And unfortunately, there's so much of that. But little did they know the deaf ear's still here. Yeah, you probably hear and heard a lot of shit growing up that people thought that you weren't. That's really interesting. Like, I always think about that too when like people are like bilingual and people don't realize they speak English. G says, yep, I get the vibe Addo and Sam have met these guys by how they talk, and I love you both. Lindsay says, the fact that the Super Bowl has finished doesn't matter so much. You plan social events around other events. For me and my friends, the part after the big sporting event is just as important. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But I do think him and his friends are being assholes, but I think this dude is better off single. This is all part and parcel of having a partner and making sacrifices. Yeah. It's also more difficult when you're 19 because a lot of the people around you don't have partners. And you're learning how to be adults and not be children. And you're learning if you're someone who should have a partner or not. Like you said, he might be someone who's better off single.
Sorry, Bug is sleeping with his mouth open. He's so cute.
G says, trust me, I know a lot of dudes treat women like Pokemon cards and just collect for their egos. Men aren't taught how to deal with their feelings, and they often vent their self-doubts on the women around them. TLDR, I wouldn't like to be a snake when the dudes have to be sweet or be eaten. Who's with? I would like to be a snake where the dudes have to be sweet or be eaten. Who's with me? Yeah, I feel that energy, and Lord knows, like I definitely didn't bat 100 with this stuff. But yeah, dudes need to get better. But like at 19, this is probably going to be a pretty big learning experience for him.
Yeah, this is going to be, it seems integral to his growth, and so hopefully he takes the path of which, like, what?
Oh, no, go ahead.
What?
Keep going. I was just going to read the next comment. So
I'm going to correct my back. Go ahead and read the next comment.
Addo said, amen to that. I have to work hard to learn that in college and after college. Yeah, dealing with your feelings. Me too, Addo. I'm still working on it. G says, not all men, but I would say a lot more guys than I like that are around women than aren't, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately. There's a reason I, as a bi dude, shut off dating men. I was just like, nope. No, thank you.
No, thanks.
And so as much as I'll be like, hey, don't paint with a broad brush, I certainly did. So, GU says a lot of them need to want to change, and that's the quality, that a lot of them don't. Addo says people can change, but they need to want to change. Also, to be fair, they do change. They just change their loudness and not their views. Yeah, I don't have a way to gauge for that. And that's come up a couple times in this conversation, and unfortunately, we don't have a way to gauge for that. The good news with how shitty the world is right now is that shitty dudes are pretty loud about it.
That's good. I guess you know where they are.
That's what I'm saying. That's the silver lining of how shitty the world is right now.
I don't even know that I would call that. I don't know. Maybe, but. It's interesting because as someone with like anxiety and trauma and like trauma centric around men specifically, like I do have my guard up a lot with men, and so like when the shitty ones are extra loud and make it aware that they're shitty, that makes my job easier to not be so hyper vigilant, but at the same time then it's exhausting to constantly be subjected to shitty men being loud.
For sure.
So it's a toss up.
Ada says that's how we're in this situation politically. Oh, people being quiet about it, yeah. And us assuming that the world was a better place than it was. G said there's a lot of attitude from the cis guys who feel guilt of someday a woman will come around who will change them. Yeah, they also just don't want to be changed either. Sam says, I disagree with this one personally. As a selfish dick that grew up, I will say I took it a lot it took a lot of work and a lot of hard life lessons, but I will say that guys actually want to learn and do better is a super low count. Yeah, it's also as someone who has wanted to learn and do better, it also came at life kicking me in the ass a number of times, and I think one of the hardest things is like this girl probably needs to break up with this dude over this. She probably won't. And dudes don't learn these lessons because they do shitty stuff like this, and then life works out for them fine, and then they don't adjust their behavior, is what tends to happen. Unfortunately, it's really hard. Like, I don't think I'm an amazing person for becoming a better person. I think that I had a lot of shit humble me, and I wish that I was inherently a humble person. I was not. That had to happen over time of life kicking me in the face and circumstances kicking me in the face. And I am terrified of who I would have been had I not been humbled. I would be the colossal piece of shit. And that's real scary. That's a really scary thing to realize about yourself because, yeah, I don't. It's rough. Sam says, I read that one. Shiki says, to Lingzi, that's fair. I was reiterating that the game ended because it sounded like a couple of people thought she was saying that she should pause the game being the Super Bowl. But yeah, I think until finding a way to balance those things better, he would be better off single, because theoretically he said yes to try to make everyone happy instead of committing to one of the two, either girlfriend or friends. GU says, I want to be clear that people can 100% change, but they have to want to do it, and a lot of them adapt to hide it better. I never meant all. Sorry for this. No, you're fine. We appreciate you. This is a place for conversation. This is not a place for, like, I don't want anyone to ever feel like, including myself a number of times, if you're newer to the show, there have been like, hey, Jeff has this opinion, and the entire chat is slowly saying, Jeff, you are wrong about this. That this is designed to be that kind of space, and as long as we can make it that kind of space while also keeping people safe, we will make it that kind of space. There's a potential that as things grow, I could see a world where we have to leave less room for discussion on things because it's no longer a space that is like safe for people to hang out in. And that'll then we'll restructure things and things will be a little less loosey-goosey. But like as for now, this is the point, is that we can have conversations and people can have different opinions, and that can be fine.
Sorry, I got distracted by this Kirby keychain.
Yeah.
That I forgot I had.
It's pretty cool.
It
I
is.
found it the other day and I was like, I should do something with this, and then I couldn't figure out what to do with it.
Do something with it. What are you gonna do with it?
Oh, I was gonna like hang it up somewhere or something because
Oh,
it looks
okay. I was
cool,
like, this
but like there's
a
not. It's like
keychain.
it wouldn't look great on camera anywhere. I almost like hung it here. It was a whole thing. Addo says, I'm a straight passing white cis man. It's not much being deaf, but more that I look like them. Is there more? Or is just that? Oh, that was in response to the talking about you getting away with hearing a bunch of stuff. G says, I guess me dealing with drunk people during a holiday is a traumatic event, and it makes sense she wants sympathy. I think what it comes down to is I have a lot of experience with dudes who are too afraid to look at the stuff they don't like about themselves, and they take it out on chasing women for an ego boost instead. Yeah, there's ethical ways to be a slut, but it's a lot of hard work, and so many dudes go about it the completely wrong way. Number one thing is campsite rule: leave people as good or better than you found them. Like it's paramount. If you can't do that, you need to not be sleeping around. And you're not gonna do it 100% right all of the time, but that needs to be like your guidepost, right? You need to aim to try to leave people as good or better than you found them. And so many dudes are just like, another notch in the belt, let's go.
Yeah, I have only been in 2 serious relationships. The first one being, I don't know that I would call it a serious relationship so much as like an legal enmeshment, but I have, during the time that I was like openly had an open relationship, and then there was a very brief stint of being single before Jeffrey found me. It is interesting, the like you it's hard for me as somebody who's like been dealt with a man that, like, not you, my ex dealt with a man that was like lying and gaslighting and manipulating me the entire time. So it's really hard for me to tell when like people who were interested in being my partner or being like a fling or whatever were being genuine, or if it was just like, oh, this is all just like a thing to get in your pants, and like, which, like, again, there's an ethical way to do that. There's a like way to be like, hey, I'm not interested in like anything serious, but like would like to occasionally hook up or whatever. And like, not in those words, but you know, like a nicer way of putting that. And some men seem to like miss that step.
Well, it's so many men fuck up the friends half of the friends with benefits. Like that's one of the things we've determined, that like, hey, we're not dating, but we're hooking up regularly. We call it friends with benefits. And so many people are so convinced that they don't want to like accidentally step into a relationship that they push the whole friend thing away. And it's just like, you know, what do you do for friends? You hang out, you help them move, you do that. It's still a relationship. It's not a.
You have to take care of that relationship. They're a human being. They're not just a vending machine for whatever you want out of them.
Right. And it's like, there is a friends with benefit relationship is still a relationship. It's just a relationship with different expectations.
It's so odd to me that you and I started off as friends with benefits, kind of, sort of, whatever you want to call it. Like,
Yeah.
we were not serious in the slightest when we started hanging out, but that was the foundation. I wouldn't say it's the foundation our relationship is built on. That makes it sound.
No, I would, and I personally think that's the best foundation. Can you hang out and like have fun together first, and
I guess that's true.
and then do that with a bunch of people, and then figure out the ones that like you're like, actually this one.
Yeah.
And then narrow it down to that person. Like, I think that's a better system than just like I don't know, we geographically live in the same place and we're both single. It's just what a lot of people do. G says, I know a lot of shitty guys who changed because the men in their life pulled them aside and called them out or punched them in the face. I do too. That's one of we've taken violence away from men, and on the whole, it's been a good thing. But that's one of the casualties, as a lot of that has gone away.
That you can't punch your friends in the face for being assholes?
Yeah. I grew up in a time that if...
I don't like violence, so this isn't going to work for me. Actually, I roll back. If like somebody's getting punched because they were an asshole or shitty to women, or, you know, insert justifiable thing here, yeah, I guess I support that, but I just don't like. It feels weird being like, yeah, that's fine, just punch him in the face, but like,
I grew up in a time where there were shitty dudes, but like those shitty dudes had to worry about what would happen. Like, if you were a guy who beat on your wife and you walked into like a local bar, you would get your ass kicked.
It's insane to me that like my ex and the small town that we lived in, that nobody beat him up.
That is not entirely true. We can talk off mics, but like you know of at least one instance where someone did, because that was the old school way of like dealing with that shit of like, you know, you had that coming, right? Like that was how you if you put, well, we can talk later.
But I'm just so confused right now because I don't.
But like,
Are you talking about my neighbors?
no, we can talk afterwards.
Someone beat up my ex? Who? Can I like give them a hug? Where are they?
Okay, we'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
There's a lot going on. You probably forgot that something happened. But like, it's like, that was the old school way of handling it, was just like dudes would show up and beat a dude up if they found out that like, if it got out that like, which was half of why guys would be like, you need to keep this a secret, is because
they didn't want to get their ass.
They didn't want to get their ass whooped if they were doing that shit. But I'm not saying men should be violent either. It's just that was the system we had for dealing with this stuff, and we've not really replaced it with a good system. Lindsay says, I think it's important before we get carried away with the gender narrative. I don't think that has much to do with him being a man. This is just a human being selfish, and the roles could quite easily be reversed. That's also true. I think it just boils down to a lot of the thing that pushes it into that gender narrative, though, Lindsay, is it's so specific of like, she's on her period. She's shedding a uterine wall. It is such
Which is a joyous time.
Yeah.
So great.
And it is a Super Bowl. I mean, that just,
fun.
those things just kind of immediately shove it into a gender narrative. All right, I'm going to keep trying. If I accidentally skip a comment, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to catch up. Addo says, I definitely don't think I'm an amazing person, but I'm extraordinarily thankful for my best friend in college, who basically kept asking me to explain my views until I realized how fuck up I was. Yeah, I had that in college too. It was a professor, though. If not for him, I know I would be a vile, despicable person. Giu says, they could, but it's more often men and more normalized with men for sure. Women are, in general, usually classified as more whiny. That's probably true. Yeah, and you're honest with them. I will do some self-care after this episode. Yeah, sorry if it's gotten to be too much. We appreciate you being here. Thank you. Addo says, I think I need to sleep, but I love this conversation stream and have missed y'all so much. We love you too, Addo.
Yeah,
sleep well. Sorry that it took me 18 years to read you going to bed. I'm sorry. Giu says, I love violence. Let me at them. Not due to that. Boy brain want punch. Yeah. Mello says, off to get ready for interview. Bye, all. Yeah, good luck with the interview, Mello. Everyone's saying bye, and I wasn't catching up. I'm so sorry. Shiki says, friends should help friends understand the consequences coming from their actions. Giu says, Lita, you're implicating someone in a crime.
I don't even know who. That's why I'm so confused. Did you beat him up?
I will talk to you after the show. Do you want me to write it down on a piece of paper?
Yes, right now. I need to know. What are you talking about?
Oh my, for the love of God. I need you to have a better memory sometimes.
Well, sorry, that's on trauma, I guess. Oh, that was not the same. Not the same.
It came from the same place.
It did come from the same place, but I was talking more along the lines of like, my ex goes somewhere in public and people are like, no, dude, fuck you. And like in this,
also,
this happened so late in the game that it was too much had already happened at that point.
Yes.
Someone should have beat him up the second he started talking to the 13-year-old. But anyway.
Giu says, I'm convinced the Welsh are behind the fake breakable stuff in movies because we need bar fight culture back. We Irish are the same. I will say that in some of the more like Midwest Irish circles, that kind of shit still goes down, where it's just like dude does some shit and like guys just go like, well, all right. Shiki says the not being understanding of period pain is absolutely a man thing, though. Generations before us teach us that periods are gross and boys shouldn't know about it. And Lindsay says, I'm not so sure. I think if she's sick or hurt in any other way, he's still an asshole. Yeah, that's all true as well. She says, I will bleed on everything you love. She says, when my ex cheated on me, my dad paused and said, I'm so glad your Tate isn't still alive, which is such a Welsh comment. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that word is. We finally caught up. Tate means grandfather. Okay. Yeah, I don't know Welsh, sorry. Okay. Do we want to do the other one?
Yeah, we have time. We're not leaving for the store until noon, right? Or like 11:45.
Well, yeah, the store opens at noon. All right.
Well, yeah, I know that.
And then we can rate in Sam too.
Yeah.
G said, as in my old-timey grandfather would have chased him down with a bottle because Welsh have zero chill. Yeah. Yep. That's the old school way of dealing with this stuff. And I'm not saying it's a good system. I'm just saying we got rid of that system and we haven't really replaced it with one. Is what I'm saying. Like, I definitely there was like a brief stretch where because I had a pretty rocky marriage that ended up ending in 2018. But way back in 2008, it was like we had been married for a year or two, but we were split up at that point. And I had a brief amount of time where I was like not seeing my oldest kid, just because like life circumstance wise, it wasn't convenient and easy. And I'm grateful for it. I had a bunch of dudes show up at my house to kick my ass because I wasn't seeing my kid. And they were like, you're going to pick up your phone right now and you're going to schedule the next time you're spending time with your kid, or we're going to kick your ass. So we'll let you pick one of those two things.
Again, not a fan of violence, but like pushed you to see your kid, I guess.
But again, that was the old system, is like when men started acting out of pocket. Now, granted, the definition of what pocket was wrong in a lot of ways. Like there was still patriarchy, it was still fucked. But like the old system was like, hey, once men are acting out of pocket, we go and violently resolve it and push them back into pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that was a good system. I'm just saying it was a system. That especially when dudes were like 19, 20 and acting like fucking idiots, because every dude does at 19 and 20. We like took those dudes and we went like, no.
Yeah. This is not the path you want to be on.
Right. G says Tate was a World War II Navy vet who is very much Welsh bar culture, is the joke, to be clear. If you touch my daughter, my granddaughter, or sister, I can hunt you down system. Yeah. Which again, like, still treats women like property in some ways, and like it's not a good system. I'm not sitting here
because like that also is. It could just be that like they deeply, deeply care about the women in their lives.
That could
not
be
that
true
they're
too. Yeah.
treating them like property.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, that's no. If I could say this right now into microphones, if I wouldn't have had children that were relying on me, that's 100% how I would have probably approached the situation that you were in.
that's sweet.
But I had children. Like,
Also,
I don't think anyone sleeps more soundly in jail than a dude who beat a dude up for beating a woman up. Probably the best sleep I'd ever have in my life.
probably.
Shiki says it does imply a certain level of ownership, in my opinion. Yeah, but it's much better between that and just not doing anything because bro code or whatever bullshit. Yeah. That's what we need to develop a new system, like an economic sanctions or something. I don't know what the.
It was so interesting though, because in the brief encounters that you have had with my ex, he was the kind of person that wanted to push you to try to beat him up because he was just like that. Like I also think he thought he could win in a fight, which is laughable because he couldn't, but also I think he thought that would somehow end up in his favor, or that at the very least he could then switch it all around and be like, oh, I was physically assaulted. But I remember, like, I much prefer your path, which was just literally like, nah, I'm gonna just call the police because you're on my property.
Yeah, I did that to him.
Yeah. Like, literally, a dude was banging on the door and had, like, windows and shit and trying to be like, Selena needs to come outside and leave with me. And you were like, well, that's not happening. And then I think he was literally, like, trying to get you to come outside and fight him. And you were like, that's not happening either. And then called the police, which made him leave before they even got there.
Yeah. But again, I'm not. That all ended up being the right move, but that's also the move of a guy who has kids who has to like do the right thing, but also can only go so far with it.
Yeah.
But I also, if
I
someone's
can't say that if-
trying to get me to fight, that's not.
I can't say that if you didn't have kids and you did go out there and fight him, I would have been exactly like I would have been glad he got his ass beat, but like at the same time, that would have been traumatizing.
Yeah, he's the weird guy who like weirdly wants that, which is the other weird thing, that it's like that doesn't. But that's the other thing, as our culture has shifted, it's like it would turn into like, well, Jeff went out, that guy, loose cannon, he went over there and beat him up. Like, it's like the culture has just shifted, whereas like it used to be the culture would be kind of like, well, what did he do? Why did he go over there to beat him up? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was just, yeah.
Cheeky said, oh, I can guarantee my ex would be that, trying to push someone to fight him over what he did, and then would be more likely have that kind of look after it didn't pan out for him. Exactly. What a weird duck. All right. Sam says, I would fight him. Yeah. I think Sam and I are weirdly on the same page here. It's been very quiet about it, but I think, I don't know, it's just, that's what you do. It's I don't know. Like I said, we need new systems. I don't know what they are. But am I the asshole for throwing out my roommate's blender?
I don't know.
I was cleaning out the fridge a month ago when I saw my roommate's blender. I told him several times to clean it beforehand, but he said that he would get to it later. I also gave him a few weeks to clean it, and when I asked him that, so I threw it out. Would I clean the rest of the fridge? It smelled absolutely horrible, by the way. That's the reason I tossed it. A month after that, he comes to me, already knowing that I threw it out, and wants me to confess throwing it out. I confessed immediately, and I told him I gave him a while to clean it. He's now pissed at me and wanting me to repay him for it. I don't know the cost of the blender. I thought I gave him ample time, and he didn't care about it for an extra month when it was originally thrown away. Am I the asshole for throwing away his blender?
I mean, I've done that here, but like I wasn't like yo, I don't know, like I made sure. I was like, can I throw this away? Can I throw this away? Can I throw this away? And then every single time you'd be like, yes, you can throw that item away. And then I'd throw it away. I wouldn't be like, hey, clean this, and then if it didn't get clean, just throw it away without saying anything. But I also, how gross was it? Was it like molding?
I mean, if it was in there for a month, I would assume, and it's smelly, I would guess, yeah.
Did you try cleaning it? I know that shouldn't be your job, but like, I don't know. I don't know.
Sam says we're not on the same page. I'm a pacifist for the most part, but but I know what he put her through, and it fills me with a kind of rage I've not felt before. I'm okay with being the vessel for karma. Yeah, I think we are. I am also pacifist for the most part.
You were just advocating for people getting knocked out.
Yeah, when they're beating up women.
Yeah, but like, is that still pacifism?
I said it wasn't a good system. I said we just haven't replaced it with a we haven't really replaced that system. There's like nothing. Men aren't really out there policing themselves in the way that they used to. Was my point.
Oh.
GU says always the ones that want to fight who are the weakest. The one who silently walks over is different. They're horrifying. Also gestures above to reply to Shiki. GU says, you know my history, and I won't say it here, but the amount of dudes expect women to fix their friends who are shitty to women while feeling guilt. He's like that. Like they're like the right girl will change him. No, it's like we men need to do a better job policing each other, and I don't know what that looks like, but we need to figure it out. Shiki says, not the asshole in my opinion. If you spend over a month trying to get someone to clean up a mess in a communal area that's causing discomfort and they don't, I think you're well within your right to get rid of the thing. Yeah, I would agree. I think if you leave something in a communal area in a state of, you know, like we have a lot of communal areas at the shop, and I'm not sometimes the best neighbor, and I sometimes will leave stuff out that I should not leave out. But I'm just like, life is happening and I'm stressed and I'm like, and then that happens, right? I leave like boxes out or I leave stuff out.
Yeah, but like food though.
Right. But I'm saying it's just like, if I left a food container out and it was full of food and it was in a communal area and someone just washed it, it's like, yes, I'm paying rent there. But if someone washed it and kept it or washed it and threw it away or did anything, I'm inviting all of that by just leaving a problem.
Yeah.
Whenever you're leaving for a problem for other people, I think that like you are putting yourself in the situation where you're going to lose that thing more than likely. And yeah, I don't Reddit says everyone sucks here. I don't agree. I think it's been a month. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, and they also mentioned they asked them several times to clean it. So, like, it would be one thing if, like, they didn't say anything and then was just, like, yeet to the blender. But, like, honestly, I could even respect that because, like, I don't know. I don't like it when things get moldy and nasty in my fridge.
Right. And it's a communal space. So you have some rights to that.
I've had to really be more like comfortable with the idea of things being messy as I moved in with children, because like it's not their fault. They don't like.
Or it is their fault, and they need to learn that it's their fault,
yeah,
which
it's not
means
like
you
I'm
have
like,
to live in a state of mess while they learn, which is, I think, sometimes the toughest.
I just want to curl up in a ball and cry because they'll be like, "Hey, can you clean that?" And then they'll set it in the sink. And I'll be like, no, like put hot soapy water over it so that like it becomes clean. And then they'll like put just water in it. And then I'll be like, no, add soap. And then I'll be like, okay, now put the sponge. And it's just like, I don't mind. I really don't. But it is an extra like step and extra like it's a little, because then in my head I'm like, well, maybe I should just do it myself. And then I'm like, no, they have to learn. And I have to be nice while they're learning and like not get like frustrated or like overwhelmed.
See you soon, Sam.
And oh my god, it's that time already.
Yeah, Sam went, oh shit, I'm supposed to be gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bye, Sam. See you.
Yeah,
in
we'll see you in a second.
10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's that's I think the hardest. Where I was like, I had that conversation with you this morning. It's just like I've kind of dropped the ball letting this one learn to drive, and we need to move into that, and that means that like it's a lot of like letting that be messy. And I'm the parent that can let the kid make a lot of mistakes driving and be like, okay, so like if that would have gone a little differently. That would have killed us. So like, what did we learn? There was so many moments with the first one that like nobody was really in the car for, or it was just like me and their siblings, and it was just like I'm the parent that doesn't have anxiety, so I can be the one sitting there and just going like,
Yeah.
being like, okay, you're gonna want to next time you come to an intersection, you're gonna want to handle that differently, because if there was someone coming this way, we would have died.
Yeah.
So, and you have to like, you know, you start in a parking lot, then you move to. I was really hoping that by the time that my middle and youngest kids started having to learn how to drive, that like driving would be an antiquated thing, and it's still not.
Antiquated?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
like a thing of the past.
You thought driving would be a thing of the past by
Yeah.
now?
Yes.
Interesting. I'll be right back. I have to pee.
Okay.
I've been holding it for like.
I love you. We can wrap the
30
show up if you
minutes.
want.
Okay, that might be better. I don't know. It'll take me like 5 seconds to pee. If we were gonna wrap things up anyway, then I think we came to a conclusion that like, no, this person is not an asshole.
Even though Reddit thinks they are.
Well, sometimes Reddit's wrong.
But that's part of the. Oh, I didn't play the end of the song that I usually play that tells you that Reddit's
No.
never wrong. Sarcastically. Hey, by the way, there's the YouTube link. Please go look at our YouTube. We've spent a lot of time on it.
And by we, Jeff means Jeff, because I don't edit videos, because I don't know how.
We've spent a lot of time on it. Put a lot of work into it. There's the whole of Selena's first playthrough of Resident Evil 7 is up there now. Today, her first go at Resident Evil Village went up into there. Please go check that out. Putting a lot of work into it. We edited everything down so like hours and hours of gameplay become like a nice little streamlined 20-minute video. Perfect for eating a sandwich at lunch. Please go check that out. Spending way too much time and effort on that. And we're almost 50 subscribers though, so help us get there, please. Also, no one has to ever give us money, but if you would like to, patreon.com/dorkduck. That was really weird that it happened automatically as I was typing it. Lena's first playthrough of Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3 are on there. Also, we do a lot of extra stuff. You get stickers and that kind of stuff, but the important thing is it's like the price of a comic or a cup of coffee a month, and we get that money right at the point that we have to turn around and like pay our rent at the comic shop and stuff like that. She says the AI will overthrow you, and I will root for it because I choose robot in the robot apocalypse. I think we're in the same boat. Also, facebook.com/RadRaptorComics. That's our comic shop. If you ever, we do a live show on there every Wednesday night where we're selling comic books. I'm going to go get the Whatnot link. If you want to buy books from us on Whatnot, they literally give you free money to do so for signing up. And that link is here. It's just a thing like eBay. But like if you go and file that invite, they'll give you, and you're not signed up for Whatnot already, they'll give you $15 free. And then it gives us $5. Like it's a thing, but you can use that, turn around and turn that $15 to buy our stuff. So check that out. We have raid messages. They look like this and this. I think tomorrow we're going to experiment with not doing a show with Selena's request.
Yeah, because we have a really weird early day on Wednesday, and like it's just very stressful to like get up. Well, we get up early anyway when we have to take the kids to school, but like to then be like, okay, we gotta get like right home and do the show, and then like Zoom to the comic store because we open 2 hours early on.
Yeah, because it's New Comic Day. So, we won't have a live Dork Duck tomorrow morning, but we'll be back with that Thursday morning. And then Thursday night, we'll be playing, I believe, more Resident Evil 8. So, but yeah, let's go bug Samuel. Please be kind to our friends. We are be honest, be kind, be useful. Live a good fucking life. G says go rest. We will not. We will instead have a full ass work day. It's Tuesday's inventory day.
We have so much inventory.
So we will be doing that. But we love you all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for the stream.
Thank you.
Thanks for the great conversation. We love you. Oh, Shiki said up there to finish my thought. Like Lena said, I could see everyone sucks here being the answer if they never mentioned it. But since they multiple times asked them, they're not in the wrong for throwing it out. And they owe them nothing. I would agree. Sorry I missed that earlier. We love the fuck out of you guys. Thanks for being so wonderful and kind and letting us be messy humans. And yeah, see you soon.
See y'all Thursday.